First, though, the very sad news today of the passing of a true legend on both stage and screen, presenter, comedian and national treasure Paul O'Grady. Paul's husband, Andre, announced that he had died unexpectedly but peacefully last night at the age of 67. A good friend of our show for many years, Paul has been here through thick and thin, often alongside his dear friend, the late, great Cilla Black. Let's take a look back at some of the times he popped in to see us.
Can I just ask you something? Were you chained up in the yard last night? What's the... She had a dream about me once, you know, a dirty dream. Remember you telling me?
I did.
I said, you should have rung me. Don't be doing it on your own. I'm enjoying this.
I love it.
Oh, God,
having a jangle.
We love having
This is a little part-time job, is it, what you were saying?
Yeah? I thought you was on the till in the Netto or somewhere of the oldie. Oh, love, how much for Viagra? Because you know they're selling Viagra in supermarkets now. I've never trained a dog. They just do it, you know, it's just amazing. I've got 2 epileptic dogs. Seriously, it's great fun in our house at 3 o'clock in the morning when they both go off. It's like The Exorcist.
And the owls are going...
Because I'm out the bed with no glasses on, I can't see. and Bullseye's on the floor. And Boise's on the bed going... And Olga tries to attack them, so I've got Olga like this. Well, we'll round up in hospital, is it, really?
You're simply the best.
So many memories.
I know.
Incredible person.
Oh my goodness, I can't actually believe it, can you? When you look at that, I mean, I suppose you know his partner Andre did say that he went unexpectedly but peacefully, and that's all that we can wish. It's just the people left behind. He was only 67, but he left such a legacy. He was one of the loveliest guys. Honestly, he was so lovely. Having a bitch session with Paul O'Grady was the best night out you'd ever have in your life, because he didn't hold back, but it was never cruel. And I remember once that he had Cilla on his show, and his show was done in the same studios when we were all at South Bank. And we had, this is years and years and years ago, we had a guest drop out at the last minute, so they went and rushed and asked if Cilla could come and be our guest. So Paul O'Grady plied her with champagne and didn't tell her. And she came on here absolutely hammered. And at one point, Andrea McLean went, "What's wrong with Cilla?" And it's because her false eyelash was gradually coming down her face like this. And Paul O'Grady thought it was the best thing ever in the entire world. So he had such a cheeky sense of humour, but just a lovely guy. And you know, and I know we all know him for his love of dogs, but he also said once, if there was a starving child and a starving dog, I love dogs, but I would always give to the starving child first, which always meant, you know, a lot to me. So, yeah, I just think he's a huge, huge miss, but what a legacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned his husband, Andre, there, and I just think, how must he be feeling today? Because Paul was such a massive presence. So, I mean, everybody misses somebody when they die, but when they're that charismatic...
Well, you were quite close to him, weren't you?
Oh, I wouldn't say I was close. I mean, I've known him for a very long time. I used to go and see him when he was Lily Savage, and he used to perform at the Vauxhall Tavern, which was near my house. So we used to go there a lot, and he was hilarious. And then he used to also perform at Heaven nightclub, so I met him a few times then back in the day. And then I would say I sort of got to know him vicariously through... So I had a really good friend, Sue Carroll, who was a columnist at The Mirror, and her and Paul were very close. And when Sue had terminal cancer and she was literally weeks from dying, she was very, very poorly in the Marsden, and I was sitting with her and I heard this kerfuffle outside, all the nurses and the doctors, whatever, and Paul came barrelling down, and he had the biggest Chanel handbag I've ever seen, because Sue loved Chanel. And he walked in and he looked at her, and obviously she didn't look great at that point. And he went, "Well, I've seen you look worse," which made her laugh at a very sort of terrible time. And also he's very good friends with Barbara Windsor.
Yeah.
So I met him a lot of times sort of with Barbara and at dinners and, you know, very small dinners, him and Andre. And what I take solace from is that he was very happy, bit of a workaholic. You know, he should really have been taking it easy, but he just loved working. And they bought a they bought a flat in Amsterdam, and they spent a lot. He loved Amsterdam. Spent a lot of time in Amsterdam, and so he was very, very happy. And as you say, he went peacefully, which, you know, but it's no age, is it?
No, absolutely not. Just incredible man. Just talking about Lily's, I just loved Lily's back in the day.
But so before his time, you know, like just so before his time.
Brilliantly funny and naughty, and it was just the best on all levels.
And not many people transition from, you know, from being a caricature to the person and have a career afterwards.
Yeah, and he was really nervous doing that as well, because he had hidden behind Lily's savage character, hadn't he, for a long time?
Remember, when he decided not to do Lily anymore, he said she's moved to a convent.
Very fitting. An absolute legend. We're all very, very sad to hear the news today. And tonight, ITV1 will be repeating Paul's special royal edition of For the Love of Dogs at 5 p.m.